Child care workers across the nation are rallying together to show how the industry is impacting workers and parents. Good evening, everyone. I'm Mary Alice Demler. Scott is off tonight. Child care providers are calling for better wages and equity. They're also demanding affordable care for all families. 2 on Your Side's Rob Hackford heard their concerns firsthand at a National Day of Action rally.
Hey, hey, ho, ho! Child care rates are way too low.
The crisis in child care didn't start with the pandemic, but Felicia Williamson, the owner of My Precious Angels on Bailey Avenue, says it was a rude awakening for a lot of people because few realized
there's no workforce without us. The nurses, the doctors, the police officers, the firefighters, they can't go to work without bringing their children to child care.
So when centers like Precious Angels were forced to close, the pressure was twofold. Felt by the families Williamson wanted to help, but also her thin financial margins. Williamson survived, but Sherry Scavone, CEO of the Western New York Women's Foundation, says not everyone did.
42% of women with children under the age of 2 left the workforce during the pandemic. Women were set back 3 decades of workforce participation when schools closed and many 40% of the child care centers closed.
According to a study released by Cornell University in January, in 2020, the average wage for a child care worker in Erie County was just over $23,000. 88% of those workers earning that wage were women, and 2/3 identified as a race or ethnic group other than white. Williamson says child care centers like hers rely on federal and state funding, but that stream of money has not been adjusted.
McDonald's workers are making more than our workers sometimes because minimum wage keeps increasing, but they're not increasing the funding that's given to us.
And so we know this model is absolutely fundamentally broken. It has to change if we're going to support our businesses, if we're going to support working families, and certainly if we're going to support child care providers that are small businesses here in this community.
Monday's march was just one step that providers in Western New York took to raise awareness,
so that child care is available and affordable for all families.
And Mary Alice, both Scavone and Williamson also wanted to stress that child care is the first step to education for many kids. They are encouraged by the $7 billion being pledged to support state child care over the next 4 years under Governor Hochul, but they also worry whether that one-time injection will be enough. They're hoping federal aid could be the next solution. In the Information Center, Rob Hackford, Channel 2 News.